Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
California. You're listening to the Express Yourself Hour. I am your host, Dr. Rosie Milligan, coming to you live with Nothing But Straight Talk. That's how we do it around here, Nothing But Straight Talk. My co-hosts are the wonderful Mr. Keith Swanson, the AI man. People still looking for him. They think he doesn't exist, but he really does. And you know there's been a reward out for whoever catch him and hold him and say, I got Keith. They don't even recognize his voice. He doesn't change it, so I don't know. But that's money on the table. Good morning, Keith.
Good morning, Dr. Rosie. How are you?
I'm doing great. And you?
I am doing good. I'm waiting for this summer Southern California weather that hasn't shown up yet, but other than that, we're good.
Okay. When it show up, you're going to want it to go back. It's going to show up. It's going to show up and show out. My other co-host is Shawana Bordenay. She's a real estate guru. She sells houses, buy houses. She does everything but clean her house. I'm just kidding, you guys. Her house is real clean. Anyway, good morning, Shawana. How are you?
Great morning, Dr. Rosie. I'm doing fantastic on this beautiful day. I love the gray skies, the blue skies. I love all the skies because you know why? God gave it to us. So we got to just say thank you.
I love it. I love it. Why don't you jump right in and give your telephone number out for people who want to buy a house, sell a house, know about a house, whatever.
Yeah, my number is 818-201-6565, or you can call me on my LA number because I am in LA as well. That's 310-420-9046. I'll be waiting here by the phone for anybody that wants to sell a piece of property and they're ready to sell it right now and quickly. Call me. If you have a probate, whatever it is, I'm here to help. And if you want to buy a property, call me. 310-420-9046.
Thank you. Thank you, Shawana. You guys, we have a great topic for you today. Have a great show. Have a young man out of Atlanta, Georgia, that I met through Barbara Lindsay. You know, Barbara Lindsay was doing seminars, and she had Dr. George Frazier and Dr. Kim, you guys know who wrote Think, Kimbrough. She had them on a Zoom call. Man, it packed out. We had over 100 people there because they're talking about the Power Networking Conference, the place to go to learn how to move generational wealth and just to move to the next level by hooking up with people and learning the power of networking. As you know, that's been one of the problems with our people, particular, not understanding collaboration. Everybody's trying to solo it. You know, come on, get a choir. Don't solo it. A whole choir makes more sense than you soloing your way through this thing called life. So I met this young man through Barbara Lindsay. You know, Barbara is a networker and a connector herself. That's what she does. She doesn't see it that way, but that's what she does. So this young man that I'm about to introduce to you, his name is Mr. E. Walter Smith. He's Atlanta-based. He's a songwriter. Wow, he's a songwriter, you guys. He's a professional singer and a nationally known speaker. He's not a father. However, he is an advocate for single fathers, and he hosts an annual Father's Day celebration for homeless dads and daughters. You guys hear that? For homeless dads and daughters. My sister lives in Lithonia. I was telling her about it. Hope she can make it. Today, there are many black men rearing their sons and daughters. Yet there's truly little mention of such. Single fathers struggle with unemployment, eviction, homelessness, and any problem that anybody else can think of. But they are unthought of when we think about their challenge. It's time to celebrate the dedication of Black men who has taken on the challenge and are doing a fantastic job at parenting. What do single fathers need? They need fathers, single fathers, mentors. They need to see someone else who are doing it and has been successful. They need support. They need resources. They need seminars. They need shelters. They need a roof over their head. So today we have this fabulous man who's going to talk to us about single father. Our topic today is 5 reasons it's important to celebrate single fathers. So good morning, Mr. Smith. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Dr. Rosie. How are you?
I'm doing so good I want to holler.
Well, now is the time. Now is the time.
I am so glad to have you. And we talked about 5 reasons. Let me just kind of go through these, you guys, and then we're going to elaborate. And Mr. Smith is going to give us his point. He's going to tell us about his program. I'm so excited about it. If I was in a place close to Atlanta, I would be there. Now, my thoughts, one of the reasons I think it's important to celebrate, this is because it encouraged men who are taking on the challenge of parenting. Folks, if there's anybody that needs encouragement today, it is our Black men. I don't care what you say. They've gotten a bad rap all the way down. They have been ignored about so much. Father's Day, nobody make any big hoopla up about it. You can go in any restaurant and get a seat and have dinner. I don't see roses on the corner. I don't see baskets on the corner. I mean, it's like they're invisible. Our Black men and Black fathers should not be seen as invisible. They play a very important role. And since it's not talked about, most people are not aware of how many Black men are rearing their children. When I raised their attention, I said, when you go to the park, look how many young Black men you see now out there with their children. When you go to the supermarket, look how many Black men you see with their children. When you're shopping and people go, I never thought about that. Yeah, I have been noticed. I have been seeing more. The men today, the young men today, are taking more on with their children than even men in the past. So it encouraged them, for taking on the challenge. Number 2, you guys write those down so you can elaborate on them. And those who listen, and if you read by a single father, I want you to pick up that phone. I want you to call, and I want you to talk about the importance that your father was in your life. And I'll tell you my story later because I would read by my father, hallelujah, in the sanctuary. Number 2, it shows fathers who could be mentors for others who want to take on the challenge because they know. When we see somebody do something successful that looks like us, we feel like, well, gee, I can do it too. That's why it's important to celebrate these fathers. It encouraged other men to take on the challenge. Well, you know what? I need to do that too. It's possible. Number 4, it makes daughters feel comfortable when they go to live with their fathers because they see that there are men who are doing it and doing a good job. Number 5, it debunks the stereotype about Black men and Black fathers. Now, I'm going to go back to our guest. He's going to tell us about his program, and he's going to tell us about his thoughts about fathers and daughters. Okay, Mrs. Smith, take it away.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rosie. Again, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this amazing show. And special shout out to Miss Lindsay for making this connection. What I'm doing is I've partnered with Frontline Community Services, and we're putting on the first annual Father's Day celebration for a cause. And it's a celebration for homeless daddies and daughters it's a picnic and a dance benefit, actually, giving them an opportunity to actually come to the event where they'll come to the event homeless, but they'll go home with a place to stay, clothes, food, and a different kind of life.
Come here.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Okay. And a different kind of life when they leave. The reason we pulled this together, quite honestly, was we had planned on doing an event simply for fathers and daughters on March 20th, March 14th, 2020. And then, of course, on March 12th,
Mr. Smith, hold your thought for 1 second. Those who hold it, we need you to mute your phone. Otherwise, the technician will have to cut you off. Mute your phone. And when you're ready to make a comment, then you unmute. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
All right. What I was saying was that I first aligned with Frontline back in 2020. We had planned on doing an event in the community with fathers and daughters, ice cream and balloons and that kind of thing. And we had scheduled the event for, I believe it was March 14th. And, of course, on March 12th, that's when the world shut down because of the pandemic. And so we fast forward to about, a couple months ago, and I called Tony Barnes, as the founder of Frontline. I said, listen, I think, everybody's become a bit more comfortable with this new normal. What about doing the father-daughter dance? And he was like, that's a great idea, but why don't we put a twist to it and do it as a benefit for homeless dads and daughters? I said, wow, that's an amazing concept. Many people, don't even really consider the fact that there are a lot of homeless dads and daughters, and the fact that, single dads and just dads in general, need to be celebrated. And this is a way to kind of allow those that have been doing things like this, all of their lives to actually meet, interact, and essentially expand their network and share their blessings with others that have the same kind of desire to have that kind of amazing relationship, just, have fallen on hard times or whatever the situation might be. So, we came together, decided to go forward, and here we are today. It's going to be a great event at a private estate in McDonough, Georgia, and we'll have entertainment and food and, our community organizations bringing support, for the homeless people that we're actually, bringing to the event. And it'll just be a great opportunity for everybody that comes and gets involved.
Wow. I wish I were there. That is really a great thing. I bet most people never think about the fact with fathers that's homeless and rearing their daughters. Folks, you'll be amazed to know how many children go to school every day here in Los Angeles from a homeless shelter or from sleeping in their cars. It is so alarming. Even a lot of students in college who are actually homeless, but finding a way to get up every day and push their way out to go to school. We have a lot of need for people who saying they're lonely. Mr. Smith, I'm looking at a cross-eyed saying lonely. How can you find the time to get lonely with all this work out here to be done? Get up and do something. That'll take away that loneliness. I can't spell lonely, okay? It's so much work to do. So I'm just excited about what you're doing. And like I said, there are so many reasons to celebrate fathers who sing a parenthood with single men. Keith, what's your take on that? Let me give the number. Let me give the number first for those who want to call and talk to Mr. Smith. The number is 310-928-7733. That's 310-928-7733. Or you can email us here if you're at work and don't want the folks to know what you're doing. Email us here at innerlightradio, INNER, innerlightradio@yahoo.com. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, the thing is, if we believe that children need fathers the way we say that we do, we know that they need mothers, and we help facilitate mothers by giving them houses and giving them money and giving them the ability to actually take care of the children. Well, we actually don't do that for the men, for the fathers, because we don't think their role is as important. But we give lip service to it with things we don't put like boots on the ground and resources into facilitating a father's, a father's role, because you can't be a father if you're on the street corner, or sleeping in your car. It's almost impossible. You can't take care of yourself. How you gonna take care of a kid, or facilitate being a parent if you can't take care of yourself? So we have to put resources. We got to put in uh, facilitate structural stuff so that if a man can be a father, can be a teacher, can be facilitate a parent to his children.
And,
Without that, he can't.
yeah, and we have to recognize and bring to people awareness that
Yes.
men are doing that. That's why this
Yeah.
program is so important, because there are men sleeping in their cars with their sons, with their daughters. We want
Yeah.
people to recognize that and debunk the
Yeah.
myths that Black men
Yeah.
are not doing anything. Keith, I think they said we have quite a few callers. Can you see the
Cool.
board?
I can see the I can see the board. Okay, I'm trying to figure out who's first.
Okay. Then just open your mic. Who you want to call on first, Keith?
Is it okay? Area code, is it 404?
404 is our guest.
Okay.
Unless there's another 404.
It's got two 404s.
Okay, call them with 404. Go ahead. Give us your name, where you're calling from, and what's your point of view.
Okay. Let's try 424. Area code 424. Area code 424. No. Okay.
Okay. Maybe they just want to listen.
Okay. Area code 310. Area code 310. Yeah. Yes. That's you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah. Hi. This is Barbara Lindsay.
Hi,
and
Barbara.
Hi, Keith. Hi, Dr.
How you
Milligan.
doing?
And hi, I'm doing great. I just had a challenge trying to get in. So I don't know if everybody's just listening or what, but I didn't get a chance to hear the first part of the program. But I just want to commend Mr. Smith for what he's doing. And I think it's really great, because I didn't even think about single fathers being homeless and not being able to play the real role of a father if they're homeless. And so he's bringing attention to that situation. And I think it's just great that now we know. So what can we do to step up and make it better?
Don't you think the awareness need to be so? That's why I said it's so great, because most people see fathers with their children on their back, see fathers with children in their cars. But because the media had said they're invisible, they don't do anything, they're deadbeat. When we're looking at truth in the face, Barbara, we tend not to see the facts, because media have drowned out what's really taking place with Black men. And you go to supermarket, they got the kids on the back. You go to the park. I mean, it's just amazing what Black men are doing with their children. So I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, what you
and you're absolutely right, because you don't hear that Black men are stepping up and taking on that role as a father. That's not prevalent. But like you said, they're doing it. But we don't hear about those fathers. We don't know that they exist.
Well, now we know. And we know now. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and first of all, thanks for jumping on the call, Ms. Barbara. It's great hearing your voice. When I wrote Little Girl, I wrote it on the day that my sister got married. And as she went off to the honeymoon, we were all kind of gathered around the house, me, my mother, my brother, and my father. And my father had said that, I'm making a long story short, he had said that when my sister was born, he had prayed that he would live long enough to be able to dance with her on her wedding day. Now, some of the backstory on that, my father's mother, my grandmother, died when my dad was 13. So he was largely raised throughout his teen years by his father, my grandfather, as a single man. And so, being able to take what he saw his dad do for him and bring that to the family, and being able to, just pour into finally a little girl in the house was something that was amazingly and it was very important to him. And then one of my best friends, who is a tech giant now, a guy named Tony Jones, Chief Technology Officer for DigitalJetstream.com. I've known him 50 years. And when he became a single dad, he was able to look at how my dad was able to raise us and begin to model essentially what my dad did for his kids. And so my point is, when you talk about the importance of being able to, celebrate the fathers that have stepped up and that are making the difference and are doing the things that seemingly are in the dark, being able to celebrate them continues to encourage them to continue to do that. They have, single dads have a special charge, if you will, in their life, because so many things that you spoke on, Dr. Rosie, are serve as obstacles in front of them, or at least ways to kind of hide what it is that they're doing. And so this song helps to bring awareness to the situation, both for homeless dads as well as just dads alone, to make sure that they are celebrated. It is noted that their efforts are definitely appreciated. I was down in McDonough over the weekend, just kind of, passing out some flyers and introducing myself and letting folks know about the event. And there were, as you might imagine, a lot of fathers and daughters, both, married and single. And when I simply said, hey, listen, I've got a Father's Day gift for you. Daughter didn't know she was giving it to you. It's a brand new song that celebrates the magic of your relationship. We're doing a major event 20 minutes from here. I'd love to have you come down. The way that their faces just simply lit up, because it was somebody that basically was saying in so many words, bruh, great job, congratulations, you're healthy, your daughter's healthy, I've got an opportunity for you to come have another great daddy-daughter day and to meet other daddies and daughters that will definitely learn from you, can give you an opportunity to pour into them. And at the end of the day, everybody benefits from that. And so, again, that is, one of the main, purposes behind us pulling this event together, is to do all of these kind of things that will give, fathers and daughters the opportunity to celebrate yet another magical moment, and to pour into those that might not have had the same kind of magical moments that they've had, but as a result of them coming together, we'll be able to chalk that up.
Wow, and that just goes right into some of those reasons we named off to celebrate. It encouraged men who are taking on the challenge, and it shows fathers that there are fathers who are doing it, and they could be mentors for those people. And I'm sure these fathers would love to talk to another man, single man, who is taking care of a parent and a daughter. I mean, that's how we learn. That's how we don't have to keep making mistakes with somebody gone before us, to leave a track for us, So
Yeah.
it is so important. I am so glad you're doing this, and I know the event is going to be successful. Keith, do we have another call? Go ahead.
No, all I was going to say was that my grandfather used to say, grandson, there's a thin line of ashes between pride and foolish pride. And oftentimes, and this is the other part of it, oftentimes, fellas, we just like to make the world feel as if we got everything under control, and won't be vulnerable enough to ask, especially another man, for assistance, help, counsel, whatever the case may be. And it's our hope that from this kind of event, it's my hope that from this song, being played over and over again or what have you, that it will at least, create the atmosphere and the opportunity for those kind of conversations to be had. And a lot of times, I'm sure Keith can attest to this, a lot of times it's the side conversation. A lot of times it's the two brothers walking, through the park or through the grocery store. It's the that speaks volumes and kind of sets the stage as to whether or not you can say, bruh, this is what's going on, man. You know what I mean? and this kind of event will hopefully be able to set the atmosphere for that as well.
And you know why this is so important? Because men don't know who really to talk to, and they don't know that there are other men who are taking on the challenge. My mother died when I was 5. And I understand that my aunt, different one, came and was telling my dad, I'll take this one and I'll take that one. I know they're glad they didn't take me, though, but anyway, Daddy did not allow them to take any one of us. He said, I'm not going to separate my children. I am going to keep them all. And when I heard about you and listened to this, it just brought back to my memories. He stood tall. He took care of us. I mean, he encouraged us so. And he made us all feel good all the time. He would do our hair. I mean, he wanted to be father so much that he didn't even let the other people come in to comb our hair. And we went to school looking like Piccadilly, but we thought we were cute because Daddy told us we were cute. But we look at those pictures now. We said, Dad ought to be ashamed of himself sending us to school like this. But we felt like we were so pretty because that's what he told us. So I always say to people, send your kids from home, charging them or making them feel like they can walk through brick walls. And it didn't matter what anybody said because Daddy said I look good. And I still think I look good today because Daddy told me I did. So I don't care what you said. But the other women that I have talked to who was reared by their father, I'm telling you, I was putting together a group of people to do a book on this, and I just never got around to. These women feel like they can walk through walls. They are so confident. It's something about a father telling a daughter what she can do. I'm telling you. Yeah. So that's why I applaud you so much for doing this.
Listen. The relationship that my father, my dad died December 7th, 6 months ago. And he died in my sister's arms. And that relationship, it was no secret that, she was Daddy's girl. Years ago, as they were putting the wheels and the truck together and everything like that, he was very proud in saying that, as you know, your sister, will get this and you guys will be able to have to figure it out. I mean, that's just how it was. And my sister is a cancer survivor. She's worked for Fortune 500 companies in technology and administration. I mean, she just continues to be an amazing person. And I mean, she 3 different languages. Lived in Chile, I think it was, or Santiago, when she was like 14 for like an exchange program. She raised the money herself because Dad basically dared her, and she just went ahead and did it. So to the point of fathers being instrumental in inspiring girls to literally walk through brick walls. That's what my dad did with my sister, and she continues to just be an amazing wife, mother, and just asset to the world. So
I always say mothers make you feel better, fathers make you better.
Wow, that's great.
Wow.
Well, look, all you men out there, I want to throw out a challenge. Go get your girls. I ain't talking about your girlfriend. Go get your girl. Go get your daughter.
You'd
be surprised. We would change the whole dynamic of society when a woman have had that male, that father to pour into her life. You guys, I'm telling you, she does not allow men to abuse her. She's more self-confident. She looked for men that was similar to her father. I mean, it just takes on a whole different connotation. Keith, I think we have another call. 818.
818. Yeah, we have 818, and I think 424 wanted to get in, but 818 since you're next up. If what's your name? Where you calling from? If you want to get in. Area code 818.
818. Jump in.
Are you guys thinking of my number right now?
If you're, okay.
Are you 818?
Are you 818?
You know I am. 818.
Okay. You just pop back up. Area code 424. Area code 424. Okay.
Okay, Barbara, did you have another comment?
Actually, I was just listening.
Okay.
This. Let me just say this rather quickly, though.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship I think that you can have with your father, not only does it impact you overall, but it especially impact your relationship with other men.
Mm-hmm.
And that is if you're dating someone and you move forward and you get married to that person, that father is still in that picture. Face is right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just so important, I think, the relationship that the father has with the daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think by having two girls, two grown daughters. Okay, the thing that the women won't do that a man will do, or that I do, is I hold my daughters accountable for their behavior. In other words, you know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
women, because women are with their biology, it starts with us, right? And men said it starts with you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you make your
Mm-hmm.
decisions. You control your life. You control
Mm-hmm.
your process, and don't blame. I said if you've been taught something, and I always tell my daughters this, right? You've been taught a certain way. You know right from wrong, and we
Mm-hmm.
just talked about this. Don't blame that man if you didn't bring that boy to us, that man to us when you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't blame us
Yeah.
because you knew what you were taught. You knew right from wrong. And I always ask this. Okay, if your relationship with a man went south, went haywire, right? Did you bring that man to your family for vetting when you
Mm-hmm.
were dating him? And then if you didn't, why didn't you? It's because you knew that man was not right for you, but you wanted him anyway. Yeah,
Well,
so
you
we,
You
so
know
I,
that that
so
that
men hold their girls accountable, just like you will hold their boy accountable. Because my job as a man is not to make you feel better. Because trust and believe, with my nieces, my daughters, we had boxes of tissue when we were doing homework. Okay, because you're gonna learn this. Now I'm not gonna. You feel bad, you feel that I'm harsh, but guess what? Here's the
Mm-hmm.
tissue. You got 5 minutes to get yourself together, and we're gonna get right back to where we're going because you need to learn this. Because it's not about
Mm-hmm.
me making you feel better. It's about when you making sure that you learn these lessons. Because I'm trying to get Dr. Johnson to write this book called Male Emotional Labor. Because I remember
Called what,
this
Keith?
male emotional labor. Because
Okay.
we recognize female emotional labor, the feel goods. I'm gonna make you feel better. I'm gonna, oh dear this that. Men don't show up that way, right? I was thinking about this movie called Officer and a Gentleman, right? And
yeah.
where Mayo had done something wrong, okay, and the sergeant wanted to kick him out. He wanted his DOR, and then drop on request, right? He wanted him out, and then and
Mm-hmm.
then the Mayo broke and said I had no place to go. He begged for mercy, and then you could
Mm-hmm.
see the sergeant soften. He didn't say anything. He said, "Okay, man, get up. I'll help you rebuild yourself. I'm going to make you a better man." That's the way male emotional labor shows up. If you're accountable for what you do, we're going to help you. We're going to make sure
That's
you're
right.
the best person you can be.
That's
But that's
right.
our job. But it doesn't show up the same way female emotional labor does, and that's the difference.
I think that's
That's
what
so
we
true.
all, yeah, we all have to understand that men and women are different. That's why
Yes,
that balance is really important. Because when you
it
talk
is.
about the homework, see, a woman usually get emotion, get mad, may
Yes,
say a few words, and when you,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't want
yes,
to get it, then just go into your room. I got mine, you get yours.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You,
you're
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
absolutely
tell you
right.
this: a man really teaches a woman a lot. A good father
Hmm.
teaches a woman how a man is supposed to treat you. And if you don't have a good father, sometimes you get caught up in these bad relationships and things that you never would have been in if your father is good. So I got to give my hats off to all the good dads when they're out
I,
there when they're
I,
teaching their kids
I,
the proper way of
I,
doing.
I, I could
It
tell you this.
matters.
I could tell you this, Shawana. As a man, as a
Mhm.
father, as a man, father of two grown children, what a man will teach his daughters how to gain the respect of the man that you're looking in the eye of. Okay,
Uh huh.
if you can
I
win,
agree.
if a woman can teach you how to win his love, but the thing is, a man can teach you how to win the respect of that man, of your husband. If a woman can win the respect of that husband, he will actually go through walls for her. He'll
Yes.
go into a burning building and pull her out because not only he loves her, but he respects her for who she is and what she
Yes.
can do. Yeah.
Mrs.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
what you think about that? Because back in the day, a boy wouldn't think of getting married to a woman without, he had to ask the father. He didn't ask the mother. Barbara, you know how that went back in the
Oh,
country, right?
yes.
You had to go ask daddy, could you date this girl? You didn't ask mama. That was out
Oh,
of her territory.
absolutely.
She better not give you permission to date this young man who had not spoken with your father. Just unfortunate today that a lot of girls
Hmm.
don't have that father in place to evaluate that
Right.
young man. That's the missing piece. Mrs. Smith, weigh in on
I
all of
will.
this.
I will absolutely weigh in. So, as I had said, my sister had, at 14, 15, she raised her own money and was a foreign exchange student in Spain, I think it was. Fast forward, post college, she moves to Japan. She meets a brother online in Japan who flew out to Japan to meet her. They come back to the States. He meets dad. It's all wonderful because of the relationship with my sister and my father. But it went even next level to the fact that I'm the oldest brother. I'm the oldest in the family. This brother felt it necessary because of the relationship with my sister and my father to fly down to Atlanta to take me to dinner, to meet me, just to make sure that he met all the key players in the family. I'm saying that, Steve, I love you, brother. I'm just tripping. And that's my brother, Steve. And to meet me. And it's because, as Keith has been, speaking, it's because of the fact that there are expectations that are put in place that two things. One, the girl, must adhere to, but at the same time, it also sends a huge message to any other fella trying to come into that fight, trying to come into her life, that she is not alone. She's got options. She could, in fact,
and she got a family. She got a family.
That's right. I was telling this story the other day. When they got engaged, Dad calls Keelan in and said, "Keelan, listen, I know my daughter. She's got a lot of opinions. She's strong-willed. She's an amazing woman, and what have you. And if it gets to the point where you can't handle it or it's a bit much, tell you what, just send her home. We love her. Just send her home. Don't do anything else. Just send her home." And that spoke volumes to just the expectation and the protection that's wrapped around my sister. And luckily, Keelan, like I said, is without question the most amazing brother. I don't even call him a brother-in-law anymore. The most amazing brother that has been, brought to the family, through marriage, and he treats my niece the exact same way. And so, a lot of times when you present what is expected, you actually attract, the same kind of person, same kind of character, same kind of personality, and that's what, at least at some level, allows for the generations to kind of pass down, those same kind of expectations. Because it's funny, as we're talking, I'm thinking about my mom's dad, who was a force, and same kind of thing happened where, I think they dated. I forget how long Mom and Dad dated, but my grandfather was very, 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 very present, and set boundaries out of this world. Dad had to adhere to them. Didn't always agree with them, but same thing. But my sister didn't always agree with the boundaries that my dad set. But at the end of the day, I think they're getting ready to celebrate 20 years of marriage, and they're happy, 2 kids, and it's a wonderful thing. So, Keith,
Mr. Smith, do you think that it's happening today with the younger generation?
In short, absolutely. One thing that we all have to remember is that social media is doing an amazing job of sharing the absolute worst of us. And so a lot of times that clouds or interferes with the best of us that sometimes gets posted but doesn't get a lot of likes and what have you. And so sure, there are a lot of scenarios where these kinds of nightmares that you see online are indeed the case, but there are still many strong families where fathers are, sharing with pouring into their daughters, the expectations that they have of them, and giving them access to, to like people and like resources, so that the kind of family, kind of generation continuation that they want can indeed happen. One of the benefits that again, kind of, shameless plug on the song "Little Girl." One of the benefits of the song and of the video and of the people that have supported the song, ranging everywhere from Greek organizations to actors and entertainers and sports figures and what have you, is the fact that because there are so many examples of just fathers and daughters, both young and old, doing the right thing. Songs like this help to bring awareness to that, help to engage those that want to, share, how magical their relationship is. In fact, we're doing a challenge called the Father's Day Challenge, where it's on all the social media. If you go to Ewalter, I guess it's at Ewalter Smith, and you can take the song and do like a slide presentation or a collage or video of the different pictures and videos and movies that you and your dad have done, and you do it to the music of the song, and I'm giving away $500 in cash prizes for the top three examples of just what that relationship looks like. And so
what do you have it?
Okay, so if you go to thelittlegirlsong.com, that's thelittlegirlsong.com, thelittlegirlsong.com. You can click on one of the pop-ups, and it talks about the Daddy-Daughter, the Father's Day Challenge. And all you need to do is click on that, click on that pop-up. And at the end of the day, all you're doing is you're taking my song, Little Girl, and you're doing like a slide video presentation to it. And you're tagging me so that I can see it. And on 3 o'clock on Father's Day, I'm announcing the winners. I've got a $300 prize, a $150 prize, and a $50 prize for the ones that my staff has chosen as being the top three. But one of the main reasons I'm doing it is so that those daughters that really want to celebrate their fathers and say thank you can indeed do that, and do it in a way that not only is, at the kitchen table or en route to dance class or whatever, that individual Daddy-Daughter Day might be, but it's something that's celebrated literally now internationally, because it's now on social media, it's not being posted, it's not being celebrated, for all the world to see. And it's done, again, to bring awareness to the fact that, hey, this is still happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, again, I guess that was a very long way of answering your question. Do I see that happening now? And sure, I guess I could have said yes.
No, but you did a great job. But I want you to tell people, because we have people listening all over, how they can connect or be a part of this weekend's Fathers Daughters Dance event. Can you give them some information, phone number, or something they want to be a part?
Absolutely. If you go to daddydaughterdays.net, that's daddydaughterdays.net. One more time, daddydaughterdays.net. You'll be able to get tickets, find out sponsorship information, and most importantly, how to make a donation, to the effort to ensure that our homeless dads and daughters are able to be in a better place when they leave the event. And And then while that, well, and then also again, the littlegirlsong.com will also allow you to not only participate in the challenge, but also on that same pop-up, the first pop-up at the top is more information about the event that we're having this weekend. So, either one, daddydaughterdays.net, daddydaughterdays.net, or thelittlegirlsong.com, are two ways that you can participate in the challenge and find out more about the event. And obviously feel free to share it all around the world.
And you definitely want to do that. I was just sitting here thinking, when we really had the fathers in the home, I mean, people just don't realize what political and other ways have really destroyed our families. When the father was home, it made such a difference because the mother, Keith, she would always say to the children, to the daughter, when they asked about, can I do this? Go ask your father. The father
That's
had
right.
respect in that home, and
Right.
you would be so angry when mama, no, go ask your dad. And sometimes we would lie. Dad and mama said he would go and ask mama did she say it. I mean, they didn't let you get away. I'd be so mad because I done lied. But anyway, it made a difference. But today, during this show, you guys, for a few moments, I just dropped into a second of sad spot thinking about how much our daughters are missing because of the political and all the other reasons that we know that have taken the father out of the home. And I'm sitting here saying, damn it, you owe the daughters reparation just for this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm getting mad now. Think about it.
Yeah.
If you don't owe anybody reparation, these daughters, these women who've been deprived of something so important like their father because of the system that was set up to divide it. That's sad. That saddens my heart. But today we're trying to, you're rectifying it. We can talk about what happened, but when you talk about what are we going to do about it, and Mrs. Smith, you're doing something about it. So I applaud you because we can talk all day. We know the fathers may not be there for whatever reason. We know the daughters may not be living with their fathers, but we can look at what can we do to make that connection by any means necessary. Because you don't have to be out of your daughter's life because you're not living in the house with her. You're still the father. You're still the father. And so what we're saying, our fathers, we need you to take your role. It ain't about the woman you laid down and went to bed with. It's about the child that you produce with that woman that you laid down with. So it's time to step to the plate.
One interesting thing I found too with this song is that this is one of many examples, but this is the one that kind of sticks out the most in my mind. When I had first written the song, but I hadn't recorded it yet, I let a great friend of mine just simply read the lyrics. And after he read the lyrics to the song, he called his daughter for the first time in 9 years.
Wow.
He was a self-proclaimed, and this is a horrible term, but a self-proclaimed deadbeat dad for a ton of reasons. But he recognized all of the memories that he had missed in basically clocking out. And what the song did was inspired him to reach back out to his daughter.
Wow.
And the net result of that was their relationship was reestablished. And I actually met her for the first time at his funeral. And but that relationship from the time that I had showed him those lyrics, got them back together. And the thing about it, oftentimes is, and not to even go into the deep weeds on this, but a lot of times there are tons of fathers that really want to be a part of their daughter's lives.
Yes.
But in doing so, they've got to be a part of their daughter's mother's lives too. And that relationship oftentimes is one that can be so toxic where the ability for him to be the father that he wants to be is just not even given to him. And
but Mrs. Smith, they need these kind of testimonies like what you're talking about, what we have seen and heard. If they heard this type of dialogue, those women would not be the same when it comes to uh, sharing their daughters with their father, regardless of what they think about. They have no clue, many of them, what it is doing
Well,
to that daughter.
What's interesting about that is that, and I was getting ready to address that. And so what happens a lot of times, because I've seen this as well, where, yeah, and this as recent as the other day, when I pass these flyers out to a few people, uh, more than a few women said, "Listen, I don't have a great relationship with my dad. I've not talked to him in the next amount of years." And I said, "Well, listen, if nothing else, send him the link to this song. And there's a good possibility that he just might call you."
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of song that this is. It indeed celebrates the magic of that relationship in a very, for those that, have it, and it becomes yet just another, magical moment in their life. But for those that haven't had it, for those that haven't had it, it serves as a new beginning or as a new opportunity to kind of start again and begin to, build the bridge back to being together again.
Is that song on YouTube?
Oh, it's everywhere. YouTube,
okay,
Spotify, Amazon, iTunes.
Okay, so we're going to encourage all our listeners to make sure you listen and send that information to other people. Okay, let's take a call, 213-80601.
Area code 213. You there? You have a comment? I guess they're just listening.
Okay, this show is going to re-air tonight, you guys, and you want to share it with your friends at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can also pick up my archives of shows if you go to youtube.com/Dr. Rosie 11. And you can pick up the archives shows from Express Yourself, and you would be amazed what you would find. So make sure you check me out. Check me out on youtube.com/Dr. Rosie 11. And remember, the show is going to air again tonight at 6 p.m. I tell you, this has been an awesome show. It just took me back to a whole lot of emotion, to my father, when my father reared me, and just the good old days, how it used to be when the father, and I don't care what that father's life was like, Mrs. Smith. I don't know if you're old enough to remember this. I don't care what his life was like. The kids was taught to respect him, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Whether he was a drunk, whatever he was, the kids was taught to love and respect their dad. Not like it is today. Sometimes kids don't even know the faults and failures of the daughter except a woman reminding them or telling them. If they had a divorce, you never knew why it was divorce, because they felt it was not your business. We talk too much. We talk too much, So I just did a lot of reflecting back. This was a good show. It was a good show for me. I did a lot of reminiscing and thinking about things, how it used to be. It's kind of fun sometimes, Barbara, you guys, when you sit back and you think about, I think Gladys Knight did a song, The Way We Were.
Yeah,
you guys ever think about that? You ever lean back in? Well, I know you're not in a rocking chair, but lean back on.
Not yet.
Lean back on whatever you're leaning on. Do you ever just throw your head back and close your eyes and just think about the way we were? Oh, I wish we could bring back those days.
Yeah.
But people like you, Mr. Smith, it's going to help us.
Sorry, I said.
People like you going to help us bring back those days. It's going to help us, because sometimes you got to look back to come back. And a lot of black folks don't want to look back. I ain't going back to that girl. I don't want to think about them days. I look all the way back to picking cotton, because I look back and I do. And then I realize that I'm great today because I did a good job When I picked cotton, Keith, I
You
picked
were a good
300. I
cotton
And
picked
picker.
300 pounds
you
a
know what?
day.
I wish
I was on exhibit. I picked cotton so good
I,
people would come out to the field to see this 13-year-old girl carry 3 rows. And that's why
yeah.
I'm successful. I'm doing now what I
Yeah,
was
that
doing.
is true.
Yes.
That is true.
Look back.
I wish I could have had my children pick cotton. I really do. Builds character. I'm serious because my most memorable character building thing was actually I was on my uncle's farm, right, throwing hay for like 4 months
Wow.
in like 90-degree
Wow.
weather. Okay, they taught me
So
that I can
look
do
back.
anything. If you can do that, I can do anything.
Okay, so I
true.
like what you said. Said look back to get back.
Yes.
Look back to get back.
Yeah, you have to look back to get back sometimes. You got to know back down that road to see how you got back there and then to come back. You guys, we are really out of time, but I want Mr. Smith to give us some closing remarks, and you guys make sure you listen to that song, Little Girl. Mr. Smith, you want to give us a closing remark, and I thank you so much.
No, I actually.
Dr. Rosie, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be on your show. Ms. Barbara, this introduction, as you can see, it is yet still another example of your ability to make magic. And I definitely appreciate you for doing this. And Keith and Shawana, thank you for being a part of this. And everybody, thelittlegirlsong.com. Thelittlegirlsong.com is where you can, hear the song and participate in the actual challenge, $500 in cash prizes. And if you want to participate in the event, you want to be part of one of the donors for our homeless dads and daughters, go to daddydaughterdays.net, daddydaughterdays.net. And I guess just in closing, the father-daughter relationship is one that, as we've discussed throughout this entire program, is one that is so critical in the mental health and the physical health of your daughter, of your little girl. And dads pouring into the daughter, giving them the complete knowledge that they are a safe place to fall, that they are being protected, is something that they will embrace and move forward and serve as the benchmark for fellas that they meet to aspire to, so that they can then have a partner to be able to move forward in their life and being successful, people in the community and around the world. And I just hope that the song helps to inspire fathers and daughters to get together and share the magic of that relationship and give the opportunity to share not only within the home but throughout the community, so that the kind of magic can spread throughout the world. daddydaughterdays.net, thelittlegirlsong.com. I'm Walter Smith. Thank you.
Mr. Smith, thank you so much for joining us. I'm definitely going to have to bring you back, okay?
I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much.
Okay, and if nothing else, I'll see you at the Power Networking Conference with Dr. George Frazier the weekend of August 2nd through the 6th. So it's going to be a lot of good networking, and you're going to meet a lot of other people who are connected like Barbara Linda. You're going to walk away from that conference knowing a whole lot of people that can sow into your life, and I would definitely be making a donation to your organization. Okay?
Thank you so much, and I so look forward to meeting everybody there. Thanks again.
Okay, you guys have a great day.